morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is for you. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so happy that you're here. If you don't know me, my name is Becca, and basically what I do on here is just share my plant journey with you, my plant experiences, and all of these things that go into that. Today I'm going to be doing a houseplant collection tour video, just of my inside plants. So I have a lot of plants outside, and I'm going to save that for another video, just in fear of this video becoming too long. I'm not going to be using a ton of scientific names. That's just not the kind of plant person that I am. I will try to insert like a little section down here of all of the scientific names that I do know. And before we get into the video, make sure that you head over to my Instagram page and give me a follow. I have a really awesome community there, and I love the Instagram plant community, so if you wanted to be a part of that, I would love for you to give me a follow and join in on the plant family fun. First plant up for the tour is my SATIN POTHOS, and I just hacked this plant up if you saw my last video, and I'm propagating some more leaves to add to the top. And I have this in a hanging planter that I also made in another video where I made this from start to finish. I have these dried oranges still up from Christmas, and that's probably pretty gross considering they're like really hard, but I love the way that they look. I love the way that the light comes through them, so I just can't bring myself to take them down. Alright, hanging here temporarily, if you can see it, is a marble queen pothos that I will be taking to my classroom. So it's just here for the weekend, but also very lovely. It's my first time ever having a marble queen, and I just love this foliage so much. It's so gorgeous. Okay, next I have this rickrack zigzag cactus that I propagated, also repotted it in a past video, and I got this cutting from my grandma, and it is just growing like crazy. It's sitting in this north window, which is probably not the best for it, but for now it seems to be doing super well, and I am planning on getting some supplemental lights to go for this entire area because this window is basically useless. Here on the windowsill I have a baby PILEA PEPEROMIOIDES that absolutely did nothing, and I think that the soil was just a little bit too compacted for it, so I've just kept it here to see if it would do anything. This is a Christmas or Thanksgiving cactus. I don't know the difference really, but my grandma gave me this over Christmas because she started it for me over the summer she started it for me. It actually had a ton of beautiful blooms on it, and they've all since fallen off. This is my other baby PILEA PEPEROMIOIDES, which has done super well. This one has really fast draining soil, so I think that's why this one did better than that one. Next to that is a pothos cutting. This is just one of my roommate's plants. So my roommate and I combined plants, and so some of these are hers, some of these are mine. The majority of the inside plants are mine though. Here we have my African violet, which has done absolutely nothing since its first bloom, and I'm really trying hard to see what I can do for it, but nothing is happening. But it is putting out new leaves, so hoping for some blooming soon. I have my monstera, my baby monstera, situated here in this window for now because in the place that I had it before, it doesn't fit on that windowsill anymore. And I just wanted to make sure that it was getting at least some light because there's really no better place for it right now. So like I said, I am planning on getting some supplemental light to put in this window because I really need these plants to thrive. And it is on a moss pole that I made with my grandma. If you want to see a tutorial on this, I might be interested in doing one, so comment below if you're interested in how I made this moss pole. It's pretty basic, nothing crazy, but it seems to be doing super well so far. This is my mama PILEA, and she's putting out so many babies, it's insane. Like, this entire base is just filled with babies. And these are babies that are growing off of the trunk, so they're a little bit more difficult to remove. That's why I haven't removed a lot of them. I wanted them to get just a little bit bigger. But I'm super, super excited to have so many PILEAs in the future. Alright, here I have my Philodendron Hope, and this is the bushy variety of the Philodendron SELLOUM, the huge ones that we see a lot in Florida, just growing naturally. And it This plant is so hard to tell whether or not it's healthy. It seems healthy because it's putting out new growth, and it's reaching for the light, unfortunately, but it's not in the best place. Again, this window is not the greatest for light, so I think that it's starting to get some light off of this grow light that I added in this little section. So we'll see. This little section, these are some of my most prized possession plants. This is my little ficus corner, and this was my first houseplant. Oh, hello. This was my first houseplant that I ever bought. I had a basil plant, but this was like first tropical houseplant. And it has grown really well in this house despite conditions. And but I wanted to put it under this grow light to see what would happen. And so far, it's only been a few days, but so far it looks really awesome. And here I have a ficus, I think ALTISSIMA. I can guarantee you I'm saying that wrong because I'll put it on the screen. This ficus was on my wish list for a super long time, just because I love the coloring of these leaves. The detail we have here. It's just gorgeous. I love this. Next to that is my rubber tree ruby edition, my Ficus elastica ruby, and this plant just captivates my heart every single time I look at it. I just am so obsessed with this foliage. The detail in it is just so gorgeous. It's really hard to believe that something like this exists just naturally. Up here I have another hanging pothos that will be going to my classroom. I bought this from Lowe's. It wasn't that expensive, and it wasn't doing so hot when I got it from the store, but I knew it just needed a water. So I gave it a water and it's perked up so beautifully. I love these. They're so easy, so much fun, and I love watching them grow. In this bookshelf, I'll give you an overview. This bookshelf has just a few plants situated in it. Plants that can handle not that much light and maybe not grow a ton, but just be there for pretty reasons. So this is a philodendron Brazil. This is my roommate's. You can usually tell which plants are hers because she has these pretty pots. And up here, this is actually, my roommate's mom gave this to me when we were kids, and it's just this tiny little cow planter that I put this Brazil cutting in, and nothing has happened. It has not grown, not even a little bit, but it has stayed alive, and I water it, you know, once a month maybe. So I think it's really cute, and I like that it has stayed small. And up here we have a pothos, which has been super happy right there. By our front door and the swamp cooler, I don't like those, but by our front door is another pothos plant, and this is my roommate's, and I need to replace this macrame hanger. It's made out of like a clothesline material, and that was nice to just like practice on, but now that I know how to make them, I would really like to put it in a nicer hanger made out of like cotton rope. Here we have one of my favorite plants. This is a jade pothos, and I love this plant just because it's so easy. When I got it from the store, it was mislabeled as a philodendron, and then finally I realized that it's a jade pothos. So that was really exciting. That was one of my first plant breakthroughs, and it's sitting in a macrame hanger that I made. Really proud of this one, actually. I'd like to make more just like it. This windowsill probably gets the best light in the house, this entire area, and this is in my kitchen, which is right here. Very tiny kitchen. But yeah, so this actually generates most of the light for the house plant-wise. So let's take a closer look. Up here I have my wax ivy, which is one of my favorite plants, and I recently got this one, so I'm hoping that this will start to trail down onto our dishes and cups, and it'll be really cute. Here is my Hoya carnosa tricolor, although I think that third color is gone. But it is a super beautiful plant that actually went bald because it was in a different place that wasn't getting light at the very top of it. So now hopefully it's getting some light at the top and growing some leaves. Down here I have my trusty Chinese evergreen. This plant is always putting out new leaves, and actually this plant is the one that taught me so much about the life cycle of a leaf. Here we have a fresh leaf, and this is an even more fresh leaf. Actually, no, it's not.
But here we have a super fresh leaf, and you can just tell because the color is so vibrant. And then we have leaves like this, which are starting to yellow, and I usually let them get a little bit more yellow than this and then I pluck it off. But for every leaf that ages and ends up falling off, there's like 3 more coming in. So we have a new leaf right here, and then there's another one somewhere around in there. So if it loses a leaf, it'll grow another one, and it's just a really great plant to see the cycle, the life cycle of a plant. Over here we have a tiny little ivy. This is my roommate's, and she actually bought this to replace my old wax ivy that died, because we both like ivies a lot. So it's gotten some new growth and it's pretty cute. Here is my FITTONIA in all of her glory. She is gorgeous. My favorite plant by far. It's starting to branch out and take on a kind of weird shape. It still takes beautiful pictures, so that's all I really care about. Here I have the jade pothos rooting in water. I just cut in a few places and there was just so many leaves that could come with it, so this could definitely make another plant. Alright, here if you can see is my silver dollar vine, and this plant is so cool. I love it. I found it at my local nursery, and I recently potted it up in another video, so if you want to see that, you can go watch it. Here I have, if you can see the difference, I have 3 things in here propagating. I have a baby spider right here, then I have a rickrack cactus here, and then another piece of rickrack here. These are all in this little jar, and I think that they're doing well. And then this plant right here is my snake plant. It's not variegated, it's just a solid green one. And this one is such a trusty plant. I know that it'll grow for years without much attention, and I just took a baby off of it and I'm excited for more. This is a cutting of my Hartley philodendron. I noticed that it was getting a little bit stringy, so I just cut off the part that was longer than the rest of it and put it in water. Up here I have my Monstera addisonii, and it's in this hanging planter in a pot that my roommate actually got me for Christmas, and it is so lovely. And it seems to be doing pretty well here. It gets light from this window, but maybe not a ton. It could definitely get more, so I might have to configure something else for this one. And over here, this is our last stop for the indoor plants. I have this tiny little macrame hanger that I made when I moved into this house. It has 4 tiers. They're not even tiers by any means, but I was just messing around and I ended up liking it. So first I have a very small and somewhat insignificant string of hearts, and I just got this off of Etsy a few months ago, and it obviously wasn't during the growing season, so I'm sure that during the growing season it'll give me a lot more. Next up I have a small little strawberry what? Strawberry? Oh, I have a small little snake plant. What the? Oh my gosh. I have a small, what is this? It's a spider plant. I have a small spider plant that is getting some brown tips. I'm not sure why, but it's growing, and that's all I can ask for. And then above that I have a Brazil cutting that I talked about in another video about plants that I've propagated, and this one's doing really great. And then above here, I've just got the whole thing moving now, and above that I have my Hartley philodendron, which is lovely, and I just cut some pieces off of it to propagate that I'll probably add to this same pot. That's going to be all for today. I hope that you enjoyed checking out my plant collection, and stay tuned for the next video where I show you my outdoor plant collection. If you liked this video and my plants, I hope that you do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and maybe share it with a plant friend. Alright guys, thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!